What if I told you that everything you think you know about reality is just an elaborate illusion? That our deepest fears, most cherished beliefs, and even our perception of truth itself are all carefully constructed facades? Throughout history, only a brave few have dared to peek behind the curtain and expose what's really happening. Did you know that most people will go their entire lives without ever questioning the fundamental structures that govern their existence? It's not their fault. We're designed to stay comfortably within the system. But what happens when you step outside and see the machinery at work? Today, we're diving into 7 philosophical masterpieces that have pulled back the veil on reality and exposed truths so profound they can fundamentally change how you see the world. Before we begin this journey through these mind-altering texts, I want you to consider something. After reading these books, you may never see the world quite the same way again. Are you ready for that? Let's find out. Our first book is Ernest Becker's The Denial of Death. This Pulitzer Prize-winning work exposes perhaps the most uncomfortable truth of all, that nearly everything we do as humans and as a society is unconsciously motivated by our terror of death. Think about it. Why do we build monuments, create art, have children, seek fame? According to Becker, these aren't just random cultural activities. They're elaborate defense mechanisms against our mortality. He argues that human civilization itself is essentially one massive immortality project, our desperate attempt to transcend death by leaving something behind that outlasts us. What makes this book so powerful is how it connects our personal anxieties to broader social structures. That career you're chasing, that status symbol you want. Becker suggests these pursuits aren't really about happiness, but about achieving what he calls symbolic immortality, the illusion that some part of us will live on after our physical bodies perish. Becker's insights become even more chilling when we consider how death anxiety manifests in our social conflicts. When someone challenges your worldview, they're not just disagreeing with you, they're threatening the very psychological structure that protects you from existential terror. This explains why ideological conflicts can become so violent. They're literally death struggles on a symbolic level. Moving to our second book, Guy Debord's The Society of the Spectacle, written in 1967, pulls back another layer of our social reality. Debord's central claim is shocking, yet increasingly evident in our modern world. Authentic social life has been replaced by representation, or what he calls the spectacle. Look around you. We're surrounded by images on our phones, billboards, screens. But Debord wasn't just talking about literal images. He meant that our entire social existence has been transformed into a system of symbols and appearances that mediates our relationships with each other and reality itself. Have you ever noticed how people sometimes seem more concerned with documenting an experience than actually living it? That's the spectacle at work. The real has been replaced by its representation. We don't just consume products anymore. We consume their images and the lifestyles they promise. The spectacle isn't just what we see, it's how we see. What makes Debord's analysis truly haunting is its prediction of our social media age. Decades before Instagram or TikTok, he foresaw a world where social relations between people would be mediated by images, where authenticity would be sacrificed for representation, and where even resistance against the system gets absorbed and commodified by it. Our third revelation comes from Jean Baudrillard's mind-bending Simulacra and Simulation. If you thought Debord was radical, Baudrillard takes it several steps further, arguing that we've moved beyond representation into simulation, where the distinction between the real and the fake has completely collapsed. Baudrillard introduces us to the concept of hyperreality, a condition where simulations have become more real than reality itself. Think about Disneyland. It presents itself as an imaginary world, but according to Baudrillard, its real purpose is to make us believe that everything outside Disneyland is real, when in fact all of America has already become a simulation. One of Baudrillard's most disturbing examples is how media and entertainment don't just report or reflect reality, they actually precede and create it. Movies simulate events that later happen in reality. News creates events rather than reporting them. The map comes before the territory. The simulation generates the real. This book famously inspired The Matrix, But Baudrillard's version is far more unsettling because in his world, there is no pill you can take to escape the simulation. There is no real world behind the veil, just layer upon layer of simulations with no original referent. The desert of the real, as he calls it. Our fourth and fifth books come from the brilliant and controversial Michel Foucault. In Discipline and Punish, Foucault reveals how modern power operates not through overt force, but through subtle discipline, surveillance, and normalization. Consider how punishment has evolved through history. We've moved from public executions to hidden prisons, from torturing the body to reforming the soul. Foucault argues this isn't progress, it's just power becoming more efficient and invisible. The modern prison, with its constant surveillance, becomes a metaphor for society as a whole. Foucault introduces us to the chilling concept of the panopticon, a prison designed so that inmates never know when they're being watched. The genius of this system is that prisoners eventually internalize this gaze and police themselves. Sound familiar? From security cameras to social media to performance reviews at work, we now live in a society where we're constantly monitoring ourselves. What makes this book truly revolutionary is how it exposes the hidden connections between seemingly benevolent institutions. Schools, hospitals, workplaces, they all employ similar techniques of surveillance, examination, and normalization to produce what Foucault calls docile bodies, individuals who are useful to the system and politically obedient. In The Order of Things, Foucault goes even deeper, revealing how our most basic categories of knowledge, our very ways of thinking, are not universal or natural but historically constructed systems that vary across time. Did you know that before the 19th century, biology as we understand it today didn't exist? People classified life differently. The way we organize knowledge into disciplines like economics, biology, linguistics isn't a neutral reflection of reality, but a specific way of seeing that emerged at particular historical moments. Foucault's archaeological approach to knowledge shows us that what counts as truth in any era isn't about discovering objective facts, but about who has the power to define what counts as knowledge. This insight demolishes our comfortable belief in steady scientific progress and forces us to question the foundations of what we think we know. Our sixth book takes us in a different direction. Albert Camus' The Myth of Sisyphus confronts perhaps the most fundamental philosophical question. Faced with an apparently meaningless universe, why shouldn't we just commit suicide? Camus starts with a brutal premise. Life has no inherent meaning. The universe is indifferent to human concerns, and we're all going to die. He calls this condition the absurd, the confrontation between our human desire for meaning and the universe's silence. Traditional responses, like religious faith or philosophical systems, are what Camus calls philosophical suicide, attempts to escape the absurd rather than confront it. What makes this book truly liberating is Camus's surprising conclusion. Instead of despair, he suggests embracing the absurd. Like Sisyphus eternally pushing his boulder up the hill only to watch it roll back down, we must imagine Sisyphus happy. The very lack of cosmic meaning frees us to create our own values, to live with passion and rebellion against the absurd. Our final book, Eric Hoffer's The True Believer, uncovers disturbing truths about how mass movements capture and transform individuals. Written in 1951, this book remains frighteningly relevant in our age of political polarization and online radicalization. Hoffer's central insight is that successful mass movements, be they religious, political, or social, don't attract people with their specific doctrines. Rather, they offer frustrated individuals a way to escape their flawed selves by submerging their identity in a greater cause. The content of the cause matters less than its ability to provide this psychological function. What's truly unsettling about Hoffer's analysis is how interchangeable these movements are. He shows how easily people can switch from one extreme movement to its opposite, from religious fundamentalism to radical atheism, from far left to far right politics, because they're seeking the same psychological relief in different packages. Hoffer exposes the dark paradox that the most dangerous true believers aren't cynical manipulators, but genuine idealists. Those who see themselves as instruments of a sacred cause feel justified in committing terrible acts. As he writes, it is the true believer's ability to shut his eyes and stop his ears to facts that do not deserve to be either seen or heard, which is the source of his unequaled fortitude and constancy. So, what do these 7 philosophical revelations tell us about the hidden nature of reality? They show us that beneath the comfortable surface of everyday life lurk powerful forces shaping our thoughts, behaviors, and perceptions in ways we rarely notice. From Becker's insight that civilization itself is built on death denial, to Debord and Baudrillard's exposure of how media and images have replaced reality, to Foucault's revelation of invisible power structures, to Camus' confrontation with cosmic meaninglessness, and Hoffer's unveiling of mass psychology, these thinkers have all pulled back different corners of the veil. The question now is, what will you do with these insights? Will you return to the comfort of unexamined assumptions? Or will you, like these philosophical pioneers, continue to question, to probe, to seek truth even when it's uncomfortable? If you found value in these revelations, there's much more to discover in each of these books. I'm curious, which of these hidden truths resonated most deeply with you? Let me know in the comments. And if you're brave enough to continue this journey of philosophical discovery, subscribe to the channel for more videos that challenge conventional wisdom and expose the hidden structures of reality. Remember, as Morpheus said in The Matrix, a film deeply influenced by several of these thinkers, you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I hope you'll join me next time as we continue down the philosophical rabbit hole. Thanks for watching.